Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Duncan. I'm joined by Ron Veitel. We're Siskiyou Medicine in Medford, Oregon, smoky southern Oregon.
Yes, it is.
And it's been a while since I've been on WNL, so it feels good to be back with you, hanging out.
Nice to have you back,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So many of you know that live in the valley that we're dealing with a lot of smoke. I live in Talent, and usually I can see Wagner. Well, you live in Talent now too.
Yes,
Awesome.
I do.
So anyway, I can see Wagner Butte typically from my window. It's only like 2 miles away, but I've not been able to see it recently.
Yeah.
And so we're dealing with some serious smoke. And I think I was making this video last year, a little later in the year, I think it was August last year, saying, you know, stay indoors, avoid smoke exposure, and detox from it. So we're back again.
Here we are again, repeating.
Unfortunately.
Exactly, and it seems like it's even worse this year than it was last year.
Yeah, we're surrounded by fires, unfortunately, and I know a lot of you have been affected by that. So you may have heard on the radio or if you're watching the news, you know, it's really important to stay inside. I think that Medford, Ashland, Talent, Grants Pass, and the surrounding areas have been under a healthy or hazardous air conditions, so it's been a little tough to breathe out there.
Yeah, they've been in the category considered very unhealthy.
Very unhealthy.
Very
It looks
unhealthy.
very unhealthy. I feel very unhealthy when I go outside and stand or drive. I'm in an open top Jeep, so it's a little crazy
It's a little
driving
intense.
down the interstate, just sucking in all that smoke. So you know, what do you do? But well, there's actually a couple things to do, right?
That's right, there are some things we can do.
We can help this.
Yes, yeah.
So we were looking at, you know, what masks to use. You know, do you remember what they were?
Yeah, so the N95 and the P100 are two masks that you would want to get, and I know that in Ashland, Ace Hardware carries them, and I just saw today that they got a fresh shipment in, so you can go to the Ace Hardware in Ashland and get the N95, which has got like a little respirator piece on the front, as well as the P100.
Yeah. And that's going to filter out all those particulates. So as the forest fire burns, it's going to be releasing a lot of solid matter into the air, which is going to collect in the lungs and potentially cause a lot of inflammation. So along with that particulate, we're getting some heavy metals. It depends on the type of soil and the trees that are growing, but plants like to take heavy metals out of the soil, and as the forest fire burns them, all that's released in the air. So we have a big job ahead of us in terms of detoxification. The masks will help cut down on the particulate, but still, you know, in daily living activities, turning on the air in your home, you're going to be exposed to the particulates and potential heavy metals. And so we need to support your lungs and support the little cilia in your airways that sort of clean your lungs and bring all that to the top. Many of you have noticed that you have a lot more sinus issues, maybe headaches, maybe ear pressure, and that's really just due to irritation of the mucous membranes. So we need to talk about strategies on how to help your respiratory system recover from all of this.
It seems like perhaps a good expectorant would be one way to approach this.
Absolutely. Anything that really increases cilia activity and supports the detoxification of the mucous membranes. So expectorants are really nice. You know, if you get something over the counter, you want to look for stuff that contains guaifenesin, which will help thin mucus so you can get it out of your lungs. If you're already compromised, if you have COPD, asthma, hypertension, or cardiovascular disease, it's really important that you wear a mask and then also use something like an expectorant. I like herbs like mullein, yerba santa. I also like fish oils because we like to reduce inflammation in the airways, right? So there's going to be a lot of irritants in the air and a lot of irritants in the airways. So getting on a fish oil, a cod liver oil, something with EPA DHA in it, but taking high doses of that during the fire season. So that means 1 gram to 3 grams daily. If you're on a blood thinner, if you're on any blood thinning medications, you need to give us a call and talk about that prescription to make sure that we're not going to run you into trouble with the medications.
Right. Some other herbs that might be more appropriate for somebody with that could be turmeric.
Absolutely.
Some turmeric, high doses of turmeric, perhaps resveratrol,
That's right.
boswellia.
Absolutely. So antioxidants, right? Cut down on the inflammation. Also think about the amino acid NAC, N-acetylcysteine, and that's to help with glutathione production. If you guys are feeling really toxic and just kind of need to take a break and clean out, then come to the clinic. We have an infrared sauna you can get in and sweat. We also have a shower you can shower afterwards. But also we can do some IV therapies to help with the detox process, help your liver detox as well as your lungs, and really focus on supporting those airways and getting them open and cleansing. Some foods that might be helpful would be foods low in sugar, so you want to eat lots of vegetables, so dark leafy green vegetables. Garlic would be really good for the sulfur, right? Cabbage, so cabbages would be really nice, and then oils, so fatty fish, mackerel, sardines, salmon, those sorts of things would be really nice.
A classic anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah, anti-inflammatory. Avoid the pastries.
Avoid the pastries, avoid the grains, the beans, the legumes, the dairy as much as possible. Dairy is really mucus producing anyways. So if you can avoid those, get a lot of dark leafy greens and nutrient dense produce. That would be a great way to go.
Yeah, and then focus. I like the dark leafy greens, and I like avocados too, because of the fiber content. So all of this stuff that we're going to be absorbing through our skin, through our airways, and getting into our bloodstream, our liver is going to be filtering that, and it's going to be pushing it into the bile to get rid of during meals. So when you eat, your liver and gallbladder are going to express bile, and the toxins are in the bile, so we need fiber to be there to capture that and to pull it out through a bowel movement. So it's really important that you're getting your fiber. I know it's difficult at times to get 9 to 12 servings of vegetables a day, so maybe incorporate some flaxseed into your diet. You can do hemp hearts.
Hemp hearts are great.
Yeah, those are really good. Those will glom onto those toxins. I like nuts and seeds. They're also a really great fiber source. So any way we can basically pull those toxins out, because we really are filters of our environment. We're breathing clean air in we're breathing dirty air in and breathing out virtually clean air. So we're glomming onto those things and running them through our bodies and filtering them out into the environment. So any way we can grab those toxins and pull them out is going to be really good for us.
Yeah, it's the lungs are like a mirror image of trees. If you look at the branching bronchioles and bronchi, it looks like they look like trees. So they are doing what trees do,
right?
And filtering the air that we're breathing in. I think of people who are more likely to be susceptible to health consequences of the smoke from wildfires, and that would be, as Dr. Duncan's already mentioned, anybody with asthma, heart disease, COPD. These are all really big ones, but also the elderly and children.
Sure.
Children are really susceptible. They're going to feel the effects of the smoke with less exposure. They're more like the canaries in the coal mine. So it's really important to keep the kids inside as much as possible, even though that's a lot of pent-up energy, to handle.
Yep.
But you may know something about that.
Sure.
Yep.
Having young children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's and you'll see children who might be vulnerable. They'll be children who have frequent ear infections, or they have asthma, like you mentioned, or eczema. That's sort of the triad. So you want to really keep an eye on those kids. Extra vitamin D will be helpful, keeping them healthy. Don't exercise in this stuff, right? Don't get outside and go running and think you're doing good for your body. You're actually just pulling in more toxins. So just stay indoors. When you're going outside, take it easy. Don't take any deep breaths or do anything extenuous or How do you say that?
Extraneous.
Extraneous. Yeah, you want to be kind of low key during this fire season. Escape to the coast. Go breathe some salt air on the beach. It's really clean air there. Even though it's a little hazy in Brookings, I was there last weekend. The beach feels pretty good.
Yeah, the beach was clean. We went as well, and then we kept going north because Brookings still had some smoke. But once we got to Gold Beach, the smoke had cleared. But it felt really good to just breathe that fresh ocean air.
Yeah, you guys got to get out and get away from this stuff. Like I said, we're doing some IV detox for people. We can do, glutathione support, take your NAC, get your fish oils. And then we're making up tinctures for healthy lungs. So I'll add all those beautiful herbs that we mentioned. I forgot to mention Taraxacum milk thistle. That'll really help the liver detox from all the stuff that's being absorbed into your bodies. Yeah.
So your classic bitters there.
Classic bitters. You guys on digestive bitters already? You're ahead of the game.
That's right.
Ahead of the game.
So, what else? Oh, one other segment of the population would be diabetics because they have a tendency to also have heart disease as well, or be preconditioned for heart disease. So, diabetics as well, be careful out in the smoke. Minimize your exposure as much as possible.
Yes.
It's the best thing you can do. Really, the best thing you can do right now. Minimize your exposure as much as possible, and even consider getting a filter, an air filter for your house. Getting some sort of filtration device to purify the air in your house. I know we have one in ours, and it'll tell us when the quality of the air is decreasing, and you would be surprised. Doors closed, windows closed, everything closed up, and the air quality will still be affected by the smoke. It gets in. So consider getting some sort of air filtration device for your home.
Yeah. Do you know what brand yours is?
I cannot remember off the top of my head.
That'd be really useful information.
It would, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, get your mask. So P95.
N95, P100.
P100.
Yep.
Get them at your hardware store. We've run out of them. We're going to get some more. We had some for last season, but we need to get more this season. I think police stations have them. Fire stations have them.
Fire station does not.
Okay.
Ashland Fire Department put out a message saying they do not have masks, so don't go there for masks, but go to Ace Hardware on A Street. They have them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably a public service announcement, right?
It really is.
PSA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
that is the
prostate-specific
SISQ, that's the SVM PSA for the day.
That's perfect. Stay out of the smoke.
Yes.
Escape to the coast if you need to, or if you can't.
Or anywhere where there isn't smoke.
Go
Just
somewhere
get somewhere where there's no smoke.
And then support your detox processes.
Yep.
And if you have specific questions about how to detox from smoke, then please post it on our Facebook page or email us at admin@sisqvitamedicine.com. And we'll be making up some tinctures. So if you're feeling like you're just stagnant and short of breath and it's hard to take a deep breath, come in and see us.
Yeah.
And we'll get you straightened out.
Yeah, because those herbs will help get that stuff out. It's really nice to keep the lungs clean.
Yes. All right.
All right, everybody.
Awesome.
Well, that was a good one.
Stay safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Good night.
Bye.